just to give some context for Masshole Media, it provides photography and videographer for artists, events, partnerships, and one being, Neiman as evidently discussed here on the podcast. So I want to know with Masshole Media, why did you decide to start your own company and how did you come up with its name?
So I'll start off with the name. So the name,
Sure.
No one knows about this one.
Okay.
I think I actually kind of had like a Cole Bennett thing. So he has his own clothing line, and he puts like these unique post-it notes explaining why he created it.
Right.
So I put on, I forget which item it was, but in one of the descriptions for one of the clothing items in my shop, it says why we came up with the name. And that was the only public place I ever put why we named it that. People from Boston might have a hint, but it's called Masshole because if you're growing up in Boston, you're called a masshole, a Massachusetts asshole. And if you go to California,
I don't want to say anything, but it did sound like asshole.
Yeah. So if you go to California and you say you're from Boston, they're like, "Oh my God, you're a masshole." You find another Bostonian from Florida when you're there on vacation. They say, "Oh, you're a masshole too."
Right.
So, so I was like, this could be really, really cool. So that's kind of like the whole origination of the name. I put the UFO in to kind of like throw people off because a masshole, like it kind of seems like there's a big sinkhole of media. That's what like everyone was saying to me. Like, I love the idea. It's like a huge.
I took it literal, like a mass hole. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
so I put the UFO like as if it was taking it up and like putting it wherever.
Yeah.
So just to throw people off, because like if you knew when I first started it, you would know the name. But for people just tagging along, they kind of don't get it, and it's like you have to work a little bit for it.
Exactly.
So it's a pretty cool concept, I guess, for that. But so the whole idea for the business is that, again, it kind of goes back to the portfolio thing and our hiring process and everything like that. But there's so many talented creatives out there that are even graduating high school just now, graduating college, and aren't in the profession of arts. And you see when you apply to college, your portfolios are the same short films, the same photos of flowers. Your teacher tells you how to edit them, tells you how long it has to be and what the style should be. And you don't really have a representation on that. And for me, it's like, if I go and apply to arts next year and I pull out my portfolio, the look on their faces when I pull out my portfolio of what I've done, they're going to be like, holy crap, we've never seen this before. Like real world examples and real world settings that like you're doing and applying here. So it's kind of like help give creatives that are seriously passionate about this and like use my connections and use our other creatives that are like our mentors, as we call them, use their connections to kind of give them a place to go and do their first concert, do their first sporting event, their first business setting, real estate video, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just to see what they want to do and if they really enjoy it. So the whole like, and I have no problem explaining my whole business plan because in the end, if I explain it word for word how I did it and someone sat there and took notes and they tried to do the same thing that I can do, their style won't be my style. They don't have the brain I have for how I think of stuff. They don't have the brain any of my creatives think about it. Seriously. Like you go and sit in the studio with some of the artists like that I've been around. And if you were to learn from a sound producer how to produce that song and that beat, if it was your favorite beat ever, he could show you how to do it and how long each, like the BPM beats per minute. And he can show you all that and you still couldn't do it. If you sat there for 4 hours and studied how to do it, you can't do it.
This is something that can't be taught at the end. Like I always believe you can educate yourself. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I didn't go to school for this. I grinded it out on YouTube for so many hours. God only knows how much time I spent on film reviews, tutorials, all that stuff, just learning the craft. But at the end of the day, I can't teach someone my style. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's inherent.
Exactly.
It comes,
and that's why
it through your bones, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's why I have no problem explaining how I get these connections and how I want to move forward with it, how I plan on making money with it, and how I hire my creatives. Because if someone asked me how I hire my creatives, like, because again, if they assume that I was looking at portfolios, it would sound hypocritical because the whole point of my company is saying those kids have the same portfolios. Why would I be looking at that, you know?
Right.
So it's that whole idea of what their vision is, because some of them haven't had the chance to express their vision. It's kind of been vaulted and locked up and they're just trying to like unleash it. So it's kind of like their therapy for figuring out what they want to do. And that's like, and some people really unleash it and others don't unleash it enough. And that's how life is. And it tells a story in a couple short words, but we have 100 plus creatives in Asia and all across Europe. We have Canada, of course, and the US everywhere. We probably shot close to 20 tours in the past 5 months and 100 plus events. And we have some more concerts coming up, more tours, more events. We have the Bruins Winter Classic coming up.
Oh yeah, you're doing that? That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, this is what's so exciting, man, is like, yeah,
exactly.
we'll get into that offline, but yeah, I just want to say like the fact that we're have that mutual passion, but also that mindset from a business acumen perspective of just how we assess creatives and how we assess ourselves, how we pitch ourselves in the industry. I think that's so vital because you don't want to just base it off of portfolios. You want to know how the person thinks, and
exactly.
that's something that you and I established. Yeah,
exactly. And it's not even just like for creatives. So we also do artists, and the biggest thing for artists is that like I said before, if their audio gets played by another artist, it's going to be a massive song, whatever. Besides that, a lot of artists don't have the funding or don't have like the spare money to pay for a venue, perform, and then get people there to make back the money. It would just be like a huge loss. So we have showcases coming up. I'm working with a entertainment group in Montreal, and then we're going to do a couple in the US.
Right.
Totally on my own with that.
Nice.
And my creatives, but it's a place to have 20 artists perform for 6-7 minute sets. So 2 songs, 3 songs, and just like meet other artists, have them on features, meet prods, have their filmer come with them. So our creatives that we have hired for the event get to meet their guys, and they can go around and film events, get started. And it's for 90% of those people, it's the first time they ever get to perform. And one of the showcases I went to, it was for a company called Concert Crave, and I wanted to do it so bad just to see how they kind of ran their thing. And those artists got so known that one of them, he's at Masshole now. He opened for Trippie Redd. You have another guy opening for Ken Carson. So it's like,
it's crazy.
So all from that showcase. So that's kind of like, I want to be that guy that gives them that first opportunity, because again, all it takes is one opportunity. And I'm so fortunate for that opportunity Declan gave me to do Tekka. It was a huge opportunity, and it got me to all these places, and still working with him today and meeting people from Tekka that are working with me as mentors. It's seriously incredible. And as music as a whole, the artists obviously are really important. They're the ones producing what we can do and call our job. And it's seriously important that we give them some love, because they spend so much time, and a lot of them write their actual feelings, and it just sucks if they keep it bottled in and they sit in their room and they don't have a place to perform it besides their mirror to their parents. And
you give them a platform.
I really
That's
want
what makes
that
it
concept.
different. Yeah. That's your kind of role. Yeah.